Good morning, this is KELOLAND On the Go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
Minnehaha County Auditor Leah Anderson has previously alleged that during the 2020 general election, there was a difference of more than 24,000 ballots when comparing audit logs in the county with the number of total ballots cast.
Anderson now says that after a review, there is a 283 ballot difference between the numbers she has come up with and data submitted to the South Dakota Secretary of State.
County Commissioner Joe Kipley and Anderson had an intense exchange yesterday in the Minnehaha County Commission's chambers.
So you have no credibility, and I, as one commissioner, would ask you to resign. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Can I respond to that?
You may, you bet.
Okay, thank you. I'm not going to resign. Sorry, Mr. Kipley. However,
the 2024 general election is just under 8 weeks away.
A 53-year-old man was arrested for assault charges after stabbing a woman in Aberdeen over the weekend. Police say officers were called to the 600 block of South Grand Street early Sunday morning.
They found both the victim and the suspect. The 52-year-old was taken to the hospital for stab wounds to her legs, hands, arms, back, and torso.
She is expected to fully recover. Police say the man and woman knew each other, and there is no threat to the public.
An online resource could help find answers about missing people in South Dakota. There's a website that lists missing people from all over the state.
And there's a way for the public to help.
If somebody knows of a person, a loved one, a friend that's missing, giving us that additional information, it could be a photograph, identify a vehicle, that additional information that we can put on the website can help save a loved one or help bring a loved one home quicker.
For a link to the missing persons page, head to this story on KELOLAND.com. Now turning to weather, it looks like it's going to be a hot September day across KELOLAND.
Numbers will warm to the 80s and 90s for this afternoon. Back to 94 today in Rapid City, 93 in Pierre. Watching developing showers and thunderstorms late this afternoon and evening across western South Dakota, where we'll have strong southerly winds, 20 to 35 miles per hour. Expect highs in the 80s to near 90 degrees in eastern KELOLAND. Brian will have more forecast details coming up.
Thank you, Scott. A popular recreation trail along the east side of Veterans Parkway in Sioux Falls will be closing for several weeks on Thursday. The trail between 57th Street and 41st Street will be installing a new sewer main to increase capacity in the southeastern part of the city.
This project is expected to be complete by spring of 2025. Trail users are urged to avoid this area while it's under construction.
Hot rods are making their way through the Black Hills en route to Idaho. Good Guys Rod and Custom Association hosts several car shows each year, as well as taking a large group of hot rod owners on a small tour.
This trip allows these classic cars to take advantage of the over 900 miles of open roads ahead of them.
And at the end of the day, we get to cruise some of the greatest roads in America and really become tourists in our own country. So that's kind of the big fun part about it, I think, for a lot of the people.
Each year, the Good Guys Hall of Fame Tour looks to drive through a new and different part of America.
The Sanford International begins on Friday, and local golfer Ryan Janza is preparing to compete in the event for a second straight year. Janza played last year and finished even par during the three-day event.
Now with that experience behind him, the Sioux Falls native feels as though he approaches the tournament this year much differently.
He said he'll be able to soak it all in a bit more with the local support he receives.
Just going to be more grateful for the opportunity, and I think with that gratitude comes, that ability. It's a little bit of Zen, that ability to breathe a little deeper, soak in what you're seeing around you, high-fiving people in the crowd, signing autographs for the little kids that come out.
The 54-hole Sanford International tees off on Friday and wraps up on Sunday.
That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, headlines here today while watching this red flag warning in effect for western South Dakota today and again tomorrow. This is going to be kind of a tough stretch with highs in the 90s. We have wind increasing here in the next 24 to 48 hours. And of course, the threat of some dry lightning too with anything that sparks on radar. Let's have a look at the latest on that. The projections this afternoon, we're thinking the Phillip area probably ends up in the mid to upper 90s. That whole grassland area of western South Dakota, a steady wind out of the south-southeast today. And then these high-base thunderstorms coming out of Wyoming, it looks like those, they may look impressive on radar. Maybe one or two turn severe, but you're going to have the entrainment of a lot of dry air underneath those bases. And so dry lightning can and probably will occur in some spots here. And so we're just watching that story. We'll keep you posted there. It looks like after this scattered rain possibility ends here overnight tonight, the next story will be even more amplified wind tomorrow. We're going to see quite an increase in the central third of South Dakota. I would argue Sioux Falls, it'll be plenty breezy, maybe windy if you want to call it that. But Pierre, Mobridge, Winter, Phillip, those spots, 40-mile-an-hour wind gusts are expected. Could see a couple gusts 45 to 50. That's a lot of wind when it's in the 90s and we're dealing with dry and hot weather in mid-September. So that's where we're at. We're forecasting a high today at 96 in Valentine, 94 in Winter. The outlook tonight, lows are dropping back to the mid to upper 50s in the northeast, 60-degree weather for the west. And there's a look at tomorrow, still in the upper 80s for Huron, Mitchell, and Yankton. Plenty of 90-degree weather in western South Dakota. That 7-day forecast, still warm. The only organized or possible rain chance that we're seeing right now is this trough moving through on Saturday morning. Could offer some scattered rain. Again, the outlooks remain limited at best. Here's a look at the forecast for Aberdeen. We're looking at mid to upper 80s in the outlook. You can see that going into the weekend. So not a lot of change. The rain chances a little better, though, for Aberdeen. Also, Pierre could pick up some rain chances Friday late afternoon or Friday night. But next week, it looks likely we're going to be back above normal. And Rapid City could easily see high temperatures returning to the 90s next week. So we'll get through the worst of this the next couple of days. A little break there on Friday. Check out more details. They're online at KELOLAND.com.